Now, I'm doing this video on speed just to let you know and to reassure you that you're not imagining things, that the impossible has indeed happened in the software world. Now, you hear stuff all the time, right? I'll call you next week, check's in the mail, the next version of Windows will run faster, all right? Well, guess what? Prepare to be shocked. Performance was a priority on the Windows 8 design team. To move to a touch interface means that you have to really stretch as much power and efficiency out of the CPU, the memory, the graphics, everything to such a point, because you simply cannot put up with trying to drag with your finger or trying to drag with the mouse and there's a hesitation or the display gets behind and that sort of thing. So Microsoft really did a lot of work on all those things, and benchmark tests are finding not only did they meet their goal, they nailed it in a lot of places. And so you're going to notice when you start to run Windows 8 on the same hardware that you were running Windows 7, certain aspects of it are going to seem a lot faster, and it's simply because they are. Now, if you compare Windows 8 to Windows 7, they made some changes to the way it works, and as a result, startup and shutdown happens considerably faster than it used to. When Windows 8 is running, it saves much of the system state and memory contents to a file on shutdown, so that when we start it back up, these settings just get reloaded on startup instead of having to go through the full bootstrap process and initiating all those processes from square one, a dead cold state. Okay, so that drastically speeds up the startup process. Most benchmark tests are reporting that startups that are half the time of Windows 7. Okay, that's drastic, and that's huge for people, because when you're using your PC, there's nothing more frustrating than sitting there forever waiting for this thing to finally start up and give you a mouse or give you the ability to open an application. Now, shutdowns are faster, and you're going to notice they're faster than they were in Windows 7. It's not as dramatic a difference as you'll notice on startups, but I've noticed that when I finish working on my laptop in a meeting and I put it into sleep mode, it just drops right into sleep mode. There's not a whole lot of clicking and humming and stuff going on. It happens much, much faster than it used to. Now, there is something you're going to notice when you move or copy files, and especially large files. Windows 8 does take slightly longer to move or copy files, but that's because it's doing a malware scan automatically on the files as part of the process of moving or copying them. However, one thing that you did get, because of a difference in the way these files are being managed, Windows 8 is a lot more accurate in predicting how much time is remaining. You know, as you copy large files and that little bar is painting across, it's always frustrating for it to say 32 minutes, 31 minutes. And then it gets down to 4 minutes, and suddenly it either jumps back up to 9 minutes or it just sits there forever, it seems like. You're going to notice with Windows 8, the predicted time remaining is going to be much, much closer to reality. Now, if you go out there and dig around the internet, every benchmark category in Windows 8 indicates faster performance than we saw in Windows 7. And that includes running on the same hardware that you were running on Windows 7. Okay? Now, you are definitely going to see some significant improvement when you see Windows 8 running on newer hardware, especially solid state drives, faster memory, and that sort of thing. So here's the bottom line. Windows 8 is faster than Windows 7. You're not imagining it, and you're going to like what you see once again on Windows 8.